Hello, everyone. Welcome to another interesting episode of Munchies and Thoughts.
This is the problem of corporate spirituality. Because corporate spirituality strips you away from a personal relationship.
Okay, sorry, Macron. There's a corporate spirituality.
I mean, corporate, none.
The way I understand Inyanga and Sangoma, there's a slight difference, or rather a blurry difference between the two.
Where you are told Isithunywa ingelosi. Now, you need to scrutinize the word ingelosi from the Greek word angelos. Yilapho thina amangoni asathola khona ingelosi.
Uma athi isiphiwo sihlala efamilini bese siyadlulela noma sikherwa ifamily kuba no choose wayo. Itonga will have one person or one spirit who is put forward as Isithunywa.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another interesting episode of Munchies and Thoughts. My name is Phathanani. I am your chef. I am not alone, of course. I'm joined by two handsome men and one beautiful ladies. Guys, welcome. How are you?
We are good. Thank you.
I can see Makilwane, but let me do this. Please introduce yourself and then you'll follow. Who are you, where you from, and what's special about you?
Sanibonani babukele ekhaya. Okhuluma about Mahlangu. I am a spiritualist. I'm a spiritual leader nginyanga. Inyanga laphayo. So I'm from Pretoria. Thank you.
Okay.
Molweni igama lami ndimXoli Nkosazana Mqwati. Ndingumuntu okholwayo kumoya. Noba intoni that's got to do ngomoya. That is actually me. I'm not labeling anything, but again, moya. That's what I can tell you.
Wow.
All right. Igama lami ngUkthwasa wabanzima. I'm known as Zano in the music circles and ngumuntu ophila ngomkhuleko. Originally from Mbale in the Mpumalanga province, but moved to Pretoria in 2004. So I've been there ever since.
Wow. You know what, Ne? I'm honored. You having your juice, you having your tea, I'm having my champagne.
Cheers.
Please, guys, let's do a shares on that. We better do that. Shares. Babukela Makaya, nibazwile basichazile ukuthi bangobani babuyaphi and what's special about them. I love you guys. You are different. And Munchies and Thoughts, it's all about different people. Thank you so much for honoring the invitation to come and share a table with me. Today, we are talking about Ukthwasa, Isithunywa, and ethics. We all know that each and every career in our work ethics. So, I need an overview. What's your understanding before I can dive into questions or we can dive into discussion? Any of you can start.
Let's not go like the same way. Do you introduce yourself?
Okay, lovely. So basically, mangibheka topic lawo, I think mina ngithinteka kakhulu when it comes to ethics.
Okay.
Because I've been very vocal on my TikTok channel about ethics. Last corner, as Abalapi Bendabugo, we've actually been tarnished, and I think it's our own doing. But, somebody had to stand up and talk about this, talk about spiritual purity and talk about basically the whole idea of understanding the spiritual framework.
Okay.
So according to my understanding, contrary to what we have been taught from the traditional cycles, I've learned that, ancestors are high vibrational entities. This is why it's difficult for people abaziphilela nje ngendlela ebathanda ngayo to connect with ancestors. So it basically comes back to the fact that when you follow proper ethics, and when you approach your ancestors and when you do your work, so it basically brings about, that ethical framework that helps you to maintain a beautiful relationship with Abantu, your ancestors, and basically just, make an impression of what really is into yokulapha Abantu.
Okay.
Because we have been taken to be something else. But I guess it's about time we come forward and talk about proper ethics. And I'm happy that I'm part of this show. And I'm glad to talk about ethics within the industry, ngicabanga ukuthi mina ngizoyivala lapho.
Wow, that was beautiful. Over to you, Mama.
Mina mhlambe ngikibele phezulu kwale ndaba yesithunywa in regard nokuyiphatha when we speak of ethics ukuyiphatha komuntu kule ndlela yesimoya, right? Siba nenkinga esikhathini esiningi ukuthi into ebuyisiqabanise ukuthi ubaba ucabanga ukuthi unomthetho ngawubeka for mina ngendlela fountain behave ngayo. But what I want to say today ukuthi umuntu onesithunywa esihlanzekile uzonikelwa ngendlela yokuziphatha ehlanzekile. It now depends ukuthi lesithunywa singaphakathi kwakho. Sometimes umuntu uya misbehavior not because of akunasithunywa sikuyena, but lesithunywa esingcolile mhlambe sibi simbehavisa in that manner. But omunye umuntu masembuka acanga ukuthi akayiphethanga kahle, but uyiphethe kahle within their own journey because bahamba nesithunywa esimnyama. So umuntu ohamba nesithunywa esihlanzekile uzobehave ngendlela or in accordance to what isithunywa simtshela ngakhona. Sometimes kunama basic rules to know ukuthi uma umuntu omoya or umuntu ohlanzekile you are supposed to be working in this manner. But to add unto that, whoever that is actually guiding you is supposed to be showing you direction ehlanzekile. Sometimes ayifani nekababa. Izoba yami yedwa but izobilungile at the end of the day. Sometimes izinto ezilungile differently but zingafani. But at most times, whatever that directs us, egcina sesiyenza sesibehave differently ethically la emhlabeni ukuthi lento kulawulayo ilento ekhambisayo. Ilento kunikeza umthetho futhi, and then we cannot change that. Hence at most times we would want ukuthi umuntu ahambe ngendlela thizeni. Kanti qaphela ukuthi lo moya ahamba ngawo moyo njani. Sonke sinobizo. Bakhona abizo lokukhanyeni abizo lobumnyameni. So in whichever manner that I'm behaving in, noma ngigqoke le cape emhlophe, but into that defines lento ehamba ngaphakathi kwami ulo moyo ngilawulayo. Uzobonakala kanjani ngokuyiphatha kwami. So ngagqoka mhlophe kanti into mina ngihamba ngayo imnyama. So that's how you see ukuyiphatha kwami.
Okay, proceed.
Okay, mina makhelwane I go a bit off on a tangent.
Not a problem.
Because once you put a topic and you say Ukthwasa and Isithunywa and ethics, you first have to break down the word Ukthwasa.
Okay.
Because then we get lost in translation and we get lost in English words such as ethics.
Okay.
And in how people view the word of Ukthwasa. Ukthwasa and Epehlo, two different things.
Okay.
Ukthwasa nendawo ofundiswa kuyo, two different things. Ipehlo, which is normally synonymous nobungoma, is a place where you are introduced to the journey you are about to take, which would be the very same thing that umuntu mhlambe ekuthiwa uthwasa isithunywa or umuntu ohamba aye endaweni thizeni ukuze afundiswe. That is different from Ukthwasa. Because Ukthwasa, you are now talking about the beginning of the practice, the beginning of the journey. The reason why uzohamba uye endaweni ekuthiwa ipehlo, it is because you have to be taught to let go of the life that you used to know, which is what everybody, whether umuntu ozothi unesithunya or umuntu ozothi unedlozi, where you have to be detached from the life that you used to know in order for you to embrace the life that you are about to take.
Okay.
Ngoba Ukthwasa, it is not an event. Ukthwasa is a journey.
Okay.
Uthwasa uze ufe.
Okay.
And the Ukthwasa, the word Ukthwasa, igama lesizulu, has got nothing to do nobungoma per se.
Okay.
But it has to do with the journey oyithathayo. So I'm just trying to
No, you are coming all right. I want to say I'm excited what you are saying.
right?
Yes.
So now and then we'll come to the next layer. Isithunywa. You see, I've got a very big problem when we are going to just come to the table. This is isithunywa. Isithunywa sakuphi? Isithunywa siphi? Ukhuluma ngaso. Ukhuluma ngethunywa sasekhaya?
Okay, I need to cut you. I wanted an overview. You are coming back there. No. You are going. I need to cut you.
I'm sorry.
It's fine. No. We are coming there. No, we are coming. You know, when I'm cutting people, it's just that remember, when I'm asking, so they need to follow us. Whoever that is watching. We can't be all over the show.
Yes.
They need to know, okay, these people are talking about this. So now they are going deeper. On that note, I want to tell you guys and say thank you so much. They did explain ubaba Mahlangu uchazile ukuthi yena uyinyanga wakhuluma kakhulu kuma work ethics because we need those. Even if you are not hired anywhere, but you need work ethics. because they assist you and guide you on how to do things. Ukhulumile, SK, I'll say mama, please forgive me. Ukuthi kunesithunywa or umoya okulawulayo.
Right.
Kuba umoya, kunemoya ehlukahlukene, and that was profound. Kunomoya omuhle, nomoya omubi. And we can't judge people because we don't know what it's given to you. And we don't know who are you. Wakhuluma makhelwane wami la, into ebaluleke kakhulu ukuthi ukuthwasa, uqale wathi you need to be specific. Because all these three things, they are broad, which is true. And today, we will find some of the things. We don't know everything, but we are here to discuss. No one is better, no one is perfect, no one is correct, no one is wrong. This is a series. We can have another panel that will give us something different. I'll start by here. African, Ukthwasa and healing, ukwelapha has been misunderstood for many years, not only from the Western researchers, but also from the people of Africa. Reason being that it has never been something taken as a special gift to those who happen to be victims of it. Ukthwasa and to be possessed by idlozi has been taken as something evil by its own people, and even those who happen to possessed has tried in many ways to escape from it by denying it. What's your thoughts on this statement I just read? Any of you? We all know that. We all, like, people, they deny the gift. People, they don't know who they are. People, they will name and say so many things. Lately, one of the well-known celebrities said people, they've got the anxiety.
Yeah.
So anyway, I was about the statement. Your thoughts?
So basically, I'm one of the victims, or rather, I've had a practical experience in denying my own spiritual gift, because for me it was just all about demons. You know, I didn't see anything special about it, like you said. And in my own personal perspective, I'm a victim of, you know, the religious system which has been dominant and prevalent in our lives. Because when I was born, my father was a pastor in the New Apostolic Church, and my mother was a pastor as well, you know. So from birth, I was told if I don't go according to the Bible, God had prepared a special place for me where I will burn until eternity. So as a child, it was child abuse, because I grew up thinking that, you know, I have to follow and, you know, comply with whatever the Bible says, which is actually the religion that I grew up under. So, but quite funny, my family name kwakhona inyanga, you know. So I was aware of into a family, so I didn't have a problem with that, observing it from a distance. But then got to a point where I was old enough to make my own decisions, and I was born again, I was saved. You know, I took a journey, I became a pastor. And, you know, people keep saying on social spaces that I was preaching the wrong message to the people. As I was a victim, you know, I was completely rooted in an apostolic teaching. I was eating, sleeping, you know, breathing Jesus. And if you told me about Intos of Nyanga, I would simply just condemn you straight up, because I didn't want anything to do with that. So, you know, the journey went on, and when my spiritual gift started manifesting, I couldn't accept it. I thought something was wrong with me, you know, until I was practically sick to a point of, you know, paralysis. And at that point, I just had to succumb. And people say I was weak, you know. I was not trained well for spiritual warfare. That's why I gave up to the devil. And I understand where they're coming from, because I'm from that terrain as well. So just to get to the point, you know, until I started practicing as inyanga, not isangoma, as inyanga, that's when I saw the kind of relief, healing I bring to the people. I consider myself a spiritual leader. I'm a self-proclaimed spiritual leader, because, you know, my key goal is to bring people to enlightenment. And I've seen that culture has deep wisdom that is able to take people out of, you know, the programming that we have been raised under. We've been programmed to deny ourselves. You know, how beautiful is it for one to have a spiritual assistant? This is, you know, Isithunywa that guides and leads your path every single day, it shows you what your purpose is all about. Because now we don't have purpose. I sometimes make this ridiculous statement of saying we go to work every single day, we go to the toilet and we support our kids. That's all we live for. Because, you know, the purpose is for us to worship God day and night, but we lost the mark. You know, worshiping God is one part, but living the purpose that God has brought us for, it's another part. And we don't understand it until we align with our spiritual guides. So I'm just going to put it straight. Wonke umuntu oexista emhlabeni unaso isithunywa, a spiritual guide. But not all of them are aligned to African traditional healing systems and customs, you know? So we don't understand. Like you said, Nami, I was a victim. I thought my spiritual gift was just a gift from the devil. He wanted to condemn me and lead me to hell, you know? But with proper understanding, I can safely say that we have been dissuaded from looking into our cultural practices. Every country has a culture that aligns, a religion that aligns to its tradition. But our main religions do not align to tradition. We get lost in semantics, you know, in terms of language and linguistics, and sometimes we get lost. And I've actually realized that we need to understand culture to a point where one fully understands their identity. But now our identity has taken away. I'm sorry for saying this, but this is my own personal perspective. We were told that we are no longer Jews, we are no longer Gentiles, but we are Jews. We've been accepted, you know, into the culture of Christ. And that definitely, you know, brings about a sense of belonging to a Jewish culture and tradition, which somehow I feel like, you know, we forget about our own traditions. But now, just one last point that I want to make before I let go of this talk, of my response. I just want to say that in the Bible, you know, it is pretty clear that we reference God as God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, which I'm okay with that. But I wish that as Africans, we can take back the pride and reference Ubaba Mahlangu, the father of Mahlangu, Umasilela, and Nabo Mqwati. You see where I'm going?
I get you. I get you.
So yeah, I'm talking about us understanding that religion is a spiritual vehicle. It's not the whole entire existence of a person, you know? So if we can understand that as Africans, a proper belief system which is leading and guiding us to the light.
Let's hear other guests.
I like what he's actually saying, because identification, your muntu mengaziqondi, then akazazi ukuthi uyakuphi, right? So in everything that is actually going on within emhlabeni la siphila kona, I still go back to say akekho umuntu onelungelo ukuthi akhombe umuntu ukuthi enze njani, no matter how much ufundiswe kanjani, whether la ubuke ufunda khona ngesintu or la ubuke ufundisa khona ngeBhayibheli or whatever, it has to do nge-experience yomuntu nento umuntu ayizwayo. So mina my thing ukuthi, my motto, each and every day ukuthi umuntu aka-identify, akazi-identify, as understand, a-connect, a-align, athole i-feedback. Once all of that is done, then kusho ukuthi uyazazi ukuthi uyakuphi. Nalo moya usebenzelayo uyawu-understand ukuthi ukuphi. Sometimes nalesithunywa esikhuluma ngaso, abanye abantu abasazi sibuya kuphi. Omunye umuntu uyas-understand ukuthi sibuya kuphi. Omunye umuntu, they believe they are just chosen by the Holy Spirit or by the spirit of purification to say, ngoba ulungile kumele enze kahle, because uma sikhuluma ngesithunywa sikhuluma ngomuntu okhulekayo, sikhuluma ngomuntu oyingcwele. Yonke into ohlala uyenza into ehlanzekile ngaso sonke isikhathi. So whenever you are being directed to another spirit efuna ukuthi wenze okukahle, sho ukuthi usebenzele isithunywa sokukhanya, right? So this is my thing, ngamusha ngesikhathi. Mina I always say, let everyone identify as they believe, right? So if mina ngi-identify in an aspect yokuthi ngizolifunda iBhayibheli, ngibuye ngiphahlela abakithi, and I get feedback and I connect and I'm able to be grounded, let me be. Ngicela ungiyeke ngirelax. You know why? Because in this manner I am getting feedback. But if you are forcing me ukuthi ngifunde iBhayibheli lodwa, but I'm not getting feedback, then there's a problem, because lo muntu oconnectayo like me, then somebody else would still come, awuyenzi kahle ngeBhayibheli nokuphahla. But if I'm not getting feedback, it's about me and how I connect to the spirit that comes in, whether among fundi iBhayibheli ngihlanganiswa nedlozi mina kuyangisebenzela. So sometimes nginga ukuthi uma mina kungisebenzela ubaba kumsebenzeli bese abona ukuthi une right ukuthi angakhomba. Kanti let us all ground in every, if it means ukuthi si grounded in 1,000 ways, let it be so. We are living in a sick world. We are sick differently because we are energized individuals. You understand? And ukwelapha kwethu okunye kuDr. Banibani okwakhe, okwabanibani kuDr. Banibani. So if uhilile kuDr. Malachi, let me heal kuDr. Dimpho mina. Ngendlela engiunderstand why, as long as I'm getting feedback. Indaba enkulu la ukuthi ngithole feedback. That is why kunabantu abakhala athi mina ngiyaphahla njalo but abangiphenduli. mina ngiyakhuleka njalo abangiphenduli do you understand this, are you connecting with this now, or wenza ngoba kuthizwe mawenze lidlozi lenzele lodwa, or mawufunda iBhayibheli so ku religion lona too much, or mawenza lokho. If it means ukuthi mina ngiguqele iRastafarian bese ngihlanganisa neBhayibheli bese ngiyaphahla, if I am connecting and getting feedback and aligning, at the end of the day ngikwazi ukuvuka ngithi ngiphuphe or bathi or in that direction, I am grounded. Allow me to ground as I please. Don't direct my path because omunye nomunye nohambo lwakhe.
Maki, to answer the question that you asked, this is the problem of corporate spirituality. Because corporate spirituality strips you away from a personal relationship.
Sorry, Makram. There's a corporate spirituality.
I mean, corporate, not
corporate world. Proceed.
Not like that. I'm calling my office now.
Okay.
I'm talking in terms of spirituality of the masses.
Okay.
Because I think this is the society that we're born into, and this is why you find now, as Africans, we are now awakening to something that in some way, shape, or form, Gubangati, it's going against what we've always been taught. But it is not. Okay. We are being pulled to the truth, to our truth, And this is why uzothola ukuthi omunye umuntu uba nenkinga to accept their calling, or uba nenkinga to accept their path, because they have been indoctrinated ukuthi the way to live and to go is this way. Anything that doesn't go on this path, ibuya from the devil, or ibuya from Omubi. Okay. And then factor into that things like the Witchcraft Suppression Act, which affected the way that ebesi dumisa ngayo, the way ebesiqhumana ngayo, nomvele nqangi, others call him Moari, others call him Kamata, and it's very important for us to recognize ukuthi in all forms of spirituality, the common denominator umdali.
Yeah.
And the only differences are the middlemen. Because now everyone has got their own middleman. But the common denominator umdali.
Okay.
Moari, mvele nqangi. Right? So kubalulekile for us to embrace who we are. Kubalulekile for us to ground ourselves, to go back to have a personal relationship. Naloku akubizayo. Kunento that I'm a bit worried about because we haven't answered it, and I think it's very important for us to answer. Ukuthi yini isithunywa?
Okay, angafiki lapho. Ngisaya lapho.
Okay, I'm gonna leave it for now.
Yeah.
The reason why I'm worried about it is because we keep touching on it.
It's coming.
We keep scratching on it.
Today we all about Isithunywa, Ukthwasa, and ethics.
All right. So just to finish my thoughts, so it is very important. It's very important for everyone, for anyone to ground themselves. You need to find your truth. You need to also to accept ukuthi, hey, angeke uthande wonke umuntu.
Yes.
Angeke relate ku wonke umuntu. And most importantly, ubudlelwane phakathi bomuntu noNkulunkulu is personal.
Yes.
It's very personal. Yes. And this is why uthumulele ebusuku kuza amaphupho, kuza imlayezo eqondene nawe. And if you are a person who is so soaked into corporate spirituality, you'll end up dismissing nezinto ezizokuphilisa. You'll end up dismissing nezinto eziqondene nawe, not you, because what you hear in your dreams might not be what I hear in my dreams. But you also know uma into right, noma into wrong. Which is what in the system is called the spirit of discernment. Uyakwazi ukwahlukanisa lo mlayezo lo ungiholele ekuphileni. This is leading me to life. But lokuyana engathi is not leading me to life. But engathi abantu abaningi are following that path. But why am I keeping getting this message? No, don't go that way. Go that way. Which is to also support the statement. It is very important for us to be grounded to truth. To be grounded to your truth. Otherwise, you're going to end up following a path because ilandelwa abantu abaningi.
Babukela makhaya nibazwile bachazile okuningi okuhlukahlukeneyo. Uchazile usisi ukuthi your connection, your alignment, your feedback. That's profound. Because I think that's where we are getting it. Esiyiluza khona. Because the moment umakhelwane I connected the champagne lena. Kanti no. Kule connected it tiye. Yes, okay. So and then uchazile umakhelwane wami ukuthi be grounded. I always say, you know, people like now they see me all over because of the show. But I always say, no, I'm still grounded.
That's important.
I will never change and be something that I'm not. Because the moment I'm changing, it will mess up. I will lose along the way. I am Chef Phathanani and I will always be Chef Phathanani. Wachaza, uyazi ukuthi ngifuna ukuza kuwe ke manje and everybody's allowed to answer this. You mentioned ukuthi uyinyanga. Awusisi sangoma.
Correct.
Lovely. Where is the difference between isangoma and inyanga? Everyone here is allowed to answer. Follow-up question. Yini isithunywa? Zihlukana kanjani izithunywa? Zisebenza kanjani izithunywa? I think that's where you were before. Yeah. So let's proceed.
Okay. So the way I understand inyanga and isangoma, there's a slight difference, or rather a blurry difference between the two, because all of them are traditional healers, you know, according to our traditional customs and systems. But inyanga is one who didn't go through initiation. Yes.
Okay.
Initiation ngikhuluma ngayo initiation ukuthi ke ugide in a trance and bese udle ithiwa le mbuzi le udle igazi lembuzi yebo udle igazi lembuzi. So isangoma doesn't go through that. So inyanga doesn't go through that. Isangoma goes through that. Isangoma is someone who went into initiation or initiator according to the normal systems or standard systems, the initiation schools in Ukthwas. So now, masikhuluma ngenyanga, sikhuluma ngabantu who are actually born with a gift that has high intuition. Because from a very young age, this person, we are going to connect. You know, they've got a very special connection to the moon in such a way that the moon represents wisdom and intuition. So these connections allow them to easily connect with the universal vibrational entities and frequencies. So we are also including ancestors. So these are the people who've got special connection, nemiti. They can sense, they can feel, their intuition is high.
Inyanga.
Yes, inyanga. And most of these people are born from emakhosini. So inkosi, there is nowhere in history like yahamba yothwasa khona. But inkosi iyaqotshwa iyaphakanyiswa. So these are the people who've got this kind of spirits that dictate ukuthi akangeni entwasweni. And most of them namhlanje babiza ngogedla. But because according to our traditional systems, siyasafundiswa ukuthi zonke inyanga noma wonke umuntu olaphayo ngokwemvelo has to go through initiation. You know, I got a backlash from TikTok. Abantu baloko basho bathi awazi lutho wena ngesilungu sakho sakuma TikTok sakuma YouTube. You should go uthola abantu abadala uhlala nabo phansi. I've got 4 mentors. Ngikhuluma ngabantu abadala who taught me properly. Imagine if you take wisdom from 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and your ancestors and your own intuition gives you information. So I just relaxed ngangafuna ukulwa nabo. So isangoma umuntu odinge ukuthi ahlale ephehlweni for an extended period of time bamfundise from A, B, C, D. Inyanga esikhuluma ngazo already abantu uyaboniswa ebusuku ukuthi na impengo ethize kumele wenzeni ngayo. Uboniswa inkinga zomuntu ukuthi umuntu ugula uphethwe yini kumele asebenze ngayo. Banamakhosi labantu. But because we don't understand, inyanga eziningi zithwasile today and that kind of messed up their connection, but they're able to naturally restore babuye. It's only now that this information is coming out, but still in South Africa sisazi umuntu olaphayo kuumuntu ohamba aye ephehlweni.
We still there. Your thoughts?
Right, in concern with Isithunywa, as you have asked.
Before you can go to Sunya, if you've got anything to say what he is saying, you are more than welcome.
I don't know dwell much. Kwinto ze sangoma ne.
Makhelwane, maybe you anything.
My forte, I think, gravitates more towards ithunywa zikamenzi.
Okay.
But as I understand, ngoba ekhaya kithi ngikhula phakathi kwabathandaza abaprofeti namagedla.
Igedla yini?
Igedla inyanga umuntu o umuntu osebenza with herbs, with plants.
Okay.
But what is very significant about them ukuthi ukwelapha kwabo kufika kubona emaphusheni.
Oh, beautiful. I need that.
So kuza kubona. They don't go and learn it specifically. So
But I think it's the same nenyanga most.
yeah, nyanga gedla.
Oh, nyanga gedla.
Yeah, amagedla inyanga.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So remember the word nyanga. Ukunyanga is to heal.
Uyanyanga.
Yes. Igedla is the profession. So igedla would be the title. Igedla liyanyanga.
Oh, okay.
Right, with herbs.
Okay.
And most of the time, igedla does not go through the process of having to go to endaweni thizeni ayothwasa or ayephehlweni, which I think is what is highlighted a lot when it comes to ubungoma, right? But I'd be more comfortable for the part of ubungoma to be handled by someone, who is walking that path.
Okay, yeah, let me go back to mama to go with Isithunywa, then
Ngalendaba yesithunywa, right? Okokuqala, before I go any further, omunye nomunye umuntu onesithunywa kusase umntwana wedlozi, because sonke sizelwe. Just because of umuntu uphakamisa isithunywa sakhe akusho ukuthi they're actually ignorant or denying ipart yedlozi lakibo. We are all ancestral beings. Masingabantwana besithunywa, but ke mangiphuma lapho isithunywa umoya ohlanzekile. Yangizwa ngisho ukuthi umuntu, but I'm saying umoya ohlanzekile. Umoya oconnectana ngokukhuleka. Umoya owenza okuhle. Right? Each and every one of us la sizalelwe khona kunemimoya eyahlukahlukene. Kunomoya ongcolile, kunomoya omuhle. Konke lokhu kuyithunywa as much as kunedlozi elihle nedlozi elibi, right? So whenever kuphakama moya thizeni, it is where when as an individual you need to understand ukuthi lo moya ovukile umoya othini or ongifuna ngani, because noma ufika awufiki in a different form or ufike umuntu ongamazi ngoba umuntu wakini lona. Kanti uma efika kuwena uphakamisa umoya wani wesithunywa esingcolile. So somebody else could be saying mhlambe akuyona into ehlangane namadlozi or into ehlangane nabantu bakithi. That's why I'm saying umoya ohlanzekile. Whenever you have that feel, or whenever you feel that you've been called for a good spirit, la wenza khona okuhlanzekile. Uma sikhuluma ngomoya wesithunywa, sikhuluma ngabaprofeti, sikhuluma ngabasebenzeli, sikhuluma ngabantu abenza kahle, umuntu oshintsha impilo yakhe maqala athatha indlela yesithunywa, umuntu owazi ukuthi akasaphila kwenyama kodwa uphila kukamoya. Ukuphila kwenyama ukuyekela konke okufunwa inhliziyo yakho, but owenza into oyenza njani efunwa umoya wakho, but not just umoya but umoya olungile, because kunomoya oyingcwele kunomoya omubi, kunedlozi elihle kunedlozi elibi, kunesithunywa esimbi kunesithunywa esikahle futhi. But whenever you find yourself that you are attracted or you are actually doing things that are in correlation nento ezikahle or izinto ezilungile, then usesithunyweni esikahle, ukhuleka wenza okulungile okuhlengekile. But kubuye kwenzeke futhi ukuthi omunye umuntu abe naso isithunywa but kungabe isithunywa esilungile, but ngenxa yokuthi kuumoya konke lokho, and makufika kuwena kukhuluma nawe njengomuntu okumaziyo ngoba mhlambe umuntu wakini, mhlambe ukholo okuthizeni. Kunabantu, lastly allow me to say this, kunabantu abaye bakhethwe within their journey. Athi umuntu mina akuyena umkhulu wami, mina umuntu engiconnecta naye akuyena futhi ugogo, but kunomoya ongifikelayo ohlanzekile ofuna ukuthi ngihlale ngikhuleka, ofuna ukuthi mangikhulekela abantu baphile, ofuna ukuthi mina uma ngishulizwe abantu impilo zabo ziyoshintsha, but I cannot relate ukuthi mhlawumbe into evela kuphi. That mere spirit that you cannot even identify with, but kuyinto elungile, kuyisithunywa kumuntu ngoba umuntu othunyiwe umuntu othunywa ukuthi enze okuthize. Umoya othunyiwe uyosebenza, but uyokusebenza lemisebenza ayifani. So lo moya oze kuwena uyisithunywa esithunywe ukwenza umsebenzi muphi.
Makhelwane wami.
So when it comes to isithunywa, makhelwane wami, your definitions have got to be specific, because I really feel like when it comes to the topic isithunywa, a lot of us are very vague about it. Now, kunomuntu ozoza kuwe athi isithunywa ingelosi. Right? Because this is the system esikhule ngaphansi kwayo, where you are told isithunywa ingelosi. Now you need to scrutinize the word ingelosi from the Greek word angelos. Ilapho thina amanguni asathola khona ingelos, because those missionaries, the British missionaries, they gave us the word unkulunkulu to tell us ukuthi lo esinilethela yena mukhulu kakhulu kunalo nina enimkhonzayo. That's where the word unkulunkulu comes from. Now when you talk about isithunywa, kuzoba khona umuntu ozothi umoya omuhle, umoya ohlanzekile, umoya, all right, right? But then you must also take into consideration that you are born emhlabeni that is a yin and yang. Umhlaba that has got good and evil. Umhlaba that has got ukhanya nobumnyama. So mawuthi isithunywa, it's also very important to state, isithunywa sokukhanya, isithunywa sikamenzi. Ngoba also the other kingdom has isithunywa nakhona. This is where you get charlatans. Because now whether it's charlatans from the Christian church or it's charlatans from African spirituality, they serve the same kingdom. Yeah. You see? Yeah. And then now when you go a bit deeper, then you also have to specify ukuthi lesithunywa khuluma ngaso isithunywa sasekhaya, which is esikhuluma ngabantu abezimapushe nakho. Labo umdali abavumelayo to come to you and deliver the messages that they need to deliver to you. Why am I saying this? It's because akuwona wonke umuntu wakini ovela fike. And also, mind the word, isithunywa, sithunyiwe. They don't just come willy-nilly because they feel like, I want to go see my grandson, or I want to, bathunyiwe. Now, if bathunyiwe, they're in service of someone, in service of umdali. Kube khona izithunywa zikamenzi, which are the ones that in the Western world we call angels, angelos, izingelos, meaning messengers. Messengers is izithunywa. Zikamenzi. Not just izithunywa and we vague. Why am I saying this? Because abantu abaningi, right now, khona umuntu uzothi ngihamba ngiyophakamisa isithunywa. The next time they come back, kuvele kubhede, kube kubi. Kube mnyama. Bese kuba ngathi manje lento le esikhuluma ngayo, hey man lento le manje yobumnyama le yimbi kanti cha isiphi lesithunywa. Ngoba phela isithunywa also, which is very important thing makhelwane I'm saying sengivala. Isithunywa also uza naso, awusidobhi along the way. Isiphiwo uza usifumbethe, awusidobhi along the way. Awungenwa siza nawe. This is why when I unpack it, I always say uNkulunkulu ubeka iphiwo emindenini, in families. Kube khona those who are born in every single generation, kube khona abakhethwayo to carry these gifts. Yingakho kuzobe kuthiwa wena wangena ugogo, not ukuthi you are possessed by ugogo, but because the characteristics and the gifts that ugogo had, they are exactly the same as the one that you have. Ngoba zibuya kubani? Zibuya kumdali. Zibekwe umveli nqangi emndenini.
I hate load shedding. But Sengvala, on your close, like on this, anything you want to say on this? You know, I know you spoke about Ubunyanga, but now Gustunwa, anything as I asked them, and then Ugogo, Umama said, "Angeka kulu kuloko ngoba gekho lapho kakhulu uzongena kuloko ngabuza nomakhelwane." So maybe Gustunwa, is there anything that you would like to share with my viewers and us, of course?
Certainly, ngithanda ipanel ukuhlanganisela because they are experts. You know, they understand. Ayikho into that fascinates me like, you know, technical experts, like people who know their story because sesahamba ngokwenza nje. So njengoba bashilo mina into ngiyaqwaliselela ngesithunywa, I still, you know, want to reiterate why I said wonke umuntu unesithunywa. Because njengoba babekasho manje, ikhona into ebizwa ngethonga. This is a sacred council which was set up by God, like he said. That's what these are the guardians of every family. Uma athi isiphiwo sihlala efamilini bese siyadlulela noma sikherwa ifamily kuba no choose wayo. Itonga will have one person or one spirit who is put forward as isithunywa, who's going to be the messenger between the itonga, which is the guardians of the family, na loyo muntu to oversee igift yomuntu ukuthi isebenze kahle, you know, in line with how it was assigned to the family. So enye futhi into bengifuna ukuyisho ukuthi ke endabeni yesithunywa, noma ngabe sinethunywa sonke, mina this is what I have discovered, and you know I'm open for criticism in this. So indaba yedlozi nesithunywa, it's one and the same thing. The difference is practice, you know, spiritual practice. Because idlozi is African ancestors who follow the African traditional system. Baza ngamabhayikiti. Oh, ibhayilamliwile. Baza ngamabhayikiti. But remember that, you know, the Christian religion has been here for much long, to a point where 5 generations back, they had fully accepted Christianity. So like Christianity, it was engraved in our belief system so much that idlozi elishone libeliever lizokwazi ukulandelisa indlela yeBhayibheli nendlela yomkhuleko, unlike how we follow in our African traditional system. So thina, according to our semantics, sahlukanisa ukuthi idlozi umngoma bese isithunywa yilo ohamba nge-churchified way of, our traditional system. It's been churchified. This is why ungeke uthole umuntu akhuluma ngesithunywa avoid prayer and then angahambi ngale mpahla ezinesonto ngaphakathi, because these are beautiful garments that are inspired by, historical avatars who used to be part of, ama religions. So in my own understanding, uma ungena isithunywa ungena idlozi elihamba ngokwendlela esithi yesonto. That's why sithi umprofeti uhamba ngaleyo ndlela yomkhuleko namakhandlela nako konke.
On that note, I'm not going to say give your advice, anything to the viewers, because we are coming back.
Okay.
We're not done. We are not done. I'm sorry. I wish I can, but because of the situation, we all know now it's going at 2. So I need to say, Makaya, we'll see you again. They're coming back. I'm sorry, but we love you guys. On that note, let's do a cheers. Good. Bye. It's not a rap. Thank you.